Do you have a situation?
Oh my gosh, I'm having trouble at home. I haven't talked to my dad in years.
Do you need to talk about it?
I need to talk about it.
Well, you can. It's Situations and Conversations with Trey Renee. What's your situation? Let's talk about it.
Here we go again. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Situations and Conversations. I am your host, Trey Renee. Good morning, OT. Super producer is in the studio.
Good morning, Trey.
How you feeling?
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
I always love your answers. It's always some sort of thing that's like off the wall. Not too shabby. That is really old school. I don't know that you're old enough to use not too
Probably
shabby.
not, but I feel not too shabby.
All right. Well, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I'll stick with it.
It sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, we're already clowning in the studio today. We have a very different type of guest. We are not usually talking about like sports infused programs or things like that, but we are always highlighting programs in the community. And you came across this lovely program. How did you do that?
I was through the Blazers Make It Better Foundation.
Well, it sounds like they do make it better. We're talking today to AC Portland. I had never heard of this organization before. And Ben Dudley is here in the studio, executive director. Good morning, Ben.
Pleasure to be here.
Man, it's good to have you.
Thank you. We're excited.
I'm glad that you are, kind of like lighthearted and you seem to enjoy casual conversation because that's what we do here.
Well, good, because that's all I like to do is sit around and talk.
I'm sure there's other things that you like to do because you look really sporty right now.
I love soccer. I love basketball. I grew up playing sports, and that's one of the reasons I love the organization I get to work for. In our schools, they've taken sports out. And I was successful in life, I think, because I had a coach and a mentor and all these things that sports teaches you. Mm-hmm. And our schools have taken that away. And so we're working to get that back. And we'll tell you all about it this morning.
Love it. Love it. Well, you know what? No better time than the present.
Let's do it.
AC Portland. Let's find out what this is all about. Because, again, I had never heard of you guys until OT brought you to my attention. And I said, let me do some research. And I went online and I said, wow, you guys are really doing a whole lot in the community, in schools with kids. And it sort of like ties into sports. So just get on into exactly what AC Portland is all about.
Yeah, thanks so much. So AC Portland, our goal is to transform communities through youth sports. And we're using sport as a catalyst for social change. We have partnered with the U.S. Soccer Foundation, who is trying to use nutrition education and soccer as a way to reach underserved communities. And so in Portland, you think about Portland, the demographic is traditionally known as high 70% is white, wealthy people. Well, that's not the case anymore. In fact, a lot of our county in Multnomah County, Washington County, there's a beautiful, beautiful diversity of people now that are living in Oregon and living in our city. And so we're able to try to take sports and bring in academic and nutrition education. We use creative writing so our kids do poetry. We take this stuff to the kids through the after-school program. Mm-hmm. After school is the most dangerous time of the day. So for kids who maybe their parents are working 2 or 3 jobs to make it so that they can provide for their family, what do the kids do from that after-school time from 3 to 5, 3 to 6 in the afternoon? They go home and sit and they play PlayStation. Well, not anymore, right?
Right.
It's a problem. So we have an obesity crisis. We have kids that aren't doing their homework. And we have all these problems because our kids don't have anything to do or they're getting into gangs.
Well,
right? Big problem with gangs.
It's so funny
right
you
now.
mentioned that because I think we probably have a show that we just did not too long ago on gangs.
Yeah.
And we had Captain Walsh from the tactical division come in and talk to us about it. And you're right. Right now we're in the summertime.
Correct.
So I don't know what your program does in the summer. We can get into that and if there's anything going on. But directly speaking to the after school programs, I think it's really important. And it's not just to be honest with you, it's not just the parents who are working 2-3 jobs. There are some parents who are at home too, doing the exact same thing. When the kids get out of school, they're emulating that same sort of deal, sitting on the couch. And I'm not judging. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm judging because I'm not afraid either to sit on the couch and watch some television, okay? But what I'm saying is, you get home, and if those sorts of activities are not available even at home, whether the parents are home or not, they're not getting it. Like
Yeah,
you said,
no,
they're
you're
not
right.
getting it in school, not getting it out of school, or they're out on the streets doing who knows what. And it definitely is a dangerous playground.
Yeah.
so to
Oh,
speak.
it's crazy, and crime's on the rise in some of our underserved communities that we're working in, and gang relations is up, and so what we're trying to do is give these kids a safe environment to be able to be kids, right? So they can come in and they can do things that they love. They can play sports. They can play soccer. We've just launched a basketball program this year. So we piloted a program with an organization called Peace Players International, and they do conflict resolution through basketball all around the world and in like war-torn regions of the world.
Really?
So they came to us and they said, let's do something in Portland based around bullying and anti-bullying and trying to reach these kids. So we reached out, and that's how you brought us in with the Make It Better Foundation. So we reached out to the Blazers through our partner Adidas and said, what if we took your respect campaign, that Damian Lillard champions, we all love him. So let's take this respect pledge and let's turn it into a program that our kids can go through and learn about respect through basketball. So when they're playing basketball and they get into an argument or a fight and they're in a game situation and conflict comes up, then they go back to practice and they talk that out and they talk about conflict. We always pretend like conflict doesn't exist. So how are we taught how to deal with conflict? Oh, ignore it, or, conflict's bad. No, who said conflict's bad? Conflict is natural and normal, right? Trey, we're not going to get along and agree on everything.
That's right.
I mean, we might. You seem like a pretty cool. Hey,
I like to think I am.
all right, I think you are.
But I have some
But
pretty
we're probably
crazy
going to
views.
disagree, occasionally.
Right. Absolutely.
But if we don't learn how to work through that disagreement and those conflicts, we're hurting ourselves. And we're especially hurting our kids. Exactly.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I'm interested in this curriculum because as I was reading, it's like how you were saying earlier, you infuse sports and how sports is so important to developing the entire character of a person.
Oh, totally. Well, the funny thing, too, it's not sport that develops the person. It's the coach. It's the mentor. Sport is the vehicle. But if you have the worst coach in the world, you're no better off, right?
I guess you're right. Like if you think about it that way, it's like sports is the car. Somebody needs to drive it, and you need a good driver to get where you're going. Right?
Exactly.
You may get somewhere, but it may be a ditch or it may be a crash.
Yep.
So you definitely need a very qualified person behind the wheel.
You got to
at
put the
helm.
fuel in the car, and the fuel's got to be quality.
So, speak on that. How do you go about getting the quality drivers, the quality coaches?
Well, we take it serious. I mean, that's probably one of the most important things we do is try to find the quality coaches. And we're lucky because we've partnered with the after-school program providers. So, there's a program called SUN, Schools United Neighborhood in Multnomah County. So we work with the SUN School partners, and they have a lot of different people that they've hired through the years. And we reach out to them and say, who's your best, brightest young folks that could come in and use sport as the way to reach these kids? They're always looking for ways to serve these kids. And not only the kids, but the families. So family engagement is a big part of what we do, and it's an important piece because we could teach a kid all day about the right thing to eat. If he goes home and all there is for dinner is fast food and Doritos and hot Cheetos,
Right.
we're in trouble, right?
No, absolutely.
The parents got to learn the message too, but you can't sometimes get a parent to come to a nutrition class. But if you have a soccer game that's going on for their kid, they're going to show up. They're excited to see their kids have an opportunity to do something like play sport, play basketball, play soccer. So we use that as a vehicle for the parent as well. Let's engage the parent. Let's get their kid, let's serve their kid and love on their kid in a way where they feel supported and their kid feels supported and encouraged, not just on the playing field, but in the academic classroom as well.
So are you guys only within the school system, or do you have a separate location, like a club or something where kids can come? Like, what's the setup?
We have 9 different sites that we ran programming in this past year. We're going to grow to 2 more, and then we're also in conversations with the Boys and Girls Club about bringing programming to all their locations as well.
Wow.
But instead of us having one building where we try to bus kids from all over the city, we've gone and partnered with people in their schools. Or, for instance, there's a Hacienda CDC. They have a futsal court. So we've gone with Hacienda, and they run programming at Hacienda on their futsal court. And we basically we train the coach, and they go out and work with the kids. So we don't have to have a one central site. It gets expensive trying to bus kids all over the city.
Well, not only that, but it's not convenient.
No.
Really, for even the families. It's like, you know, would you feel more comfortable your child being part of a program where they're already set up at the school or at a location that's near you, as opposed to having to feel like, okay, my child's on a bus, they're way across town, I don't know what's going on. Just the sense of, I'm a mom. I'm always a mom first, right? And so it's like, those are the things I think about. So I think that's really considerate and engaging of your program to be where they are.
Well, who wants to have to ride a bus for an hour to get to play for 45 minutes to ride a bus an hour back?
Right.
I don't want to. No kid wants to do
exactly.
that.
Talk about breaking out the hot Cheetos.
Yeah, right.
On that bus
you get bored. Exactly.
See, I told you, Ben.
It's hot Cheetos. They're dangerous. They're addictive. There's something in them that literally makes you.
Anything that color is kind of freaky.
It is. The fingers turn red. The lips turn red.
It's all hot.
It's not natural.
Lips smacking good.
I feel like we're doing a commercial for them, but I'm not.
No.
Those things should be banned.
Yeah, no, it's serious. It's almost an epidemic. It's bad news.